Hey guys, it's Shay. Welcome back and thank you for watching. Today's video, we're starting off with some picture inspiration. So I'm going to be rearranging some of my Natasha Denona MIDI size palettes this evening, and I'm starting off with this absolutely gorgeous picture of some poppies in front of this mountain. It's this beautiful kind of like cool red, intense, almost like gem tones or jewel tones. There's these really nice purples in the background and then a hint of some greens. So I will link the link to the picture that I'm basing this off of in the description box below. But essentially, I think what I'm gonna do is just pop out all of the shadows that I feel like loosely fit the color scheme just based off of looking at the picture, and then I'm gonna go from there. So I'm going to speed you through that process. Okay, sorry for the delay. I guess I don't know if you'll see it on camera or not, but I randomly stumbled upon a few of these that had my old handwritten labels on them. Those tend to smear the ink tends to smear, I should say, if they come into contact with makeup wipes. So I wanted to update those really quick so that they're all my, I think it's the DYMO Letter Tag label maker. I have these nice plastic labels that make really great eyeshadow labels. Now we've kind of selected pretty much every single relatively close color that I could find. I will say I was kind of, I don't want to say shocked, but I have like almost every shade from the Roxa palette in here. Obviously, as I looked through those, you might have noticed that Roxa, Golden, and I Need a Warm were kind of my as of yet untouched palettes, but I'm just going to, I guess, kind of go, the way that my brain works with this is going from top to bottom of the picture, so trying to find the closest shade match and then kind of seeing what I have from there. These were all just things that I thought were somewhere close to something in the picture. I definitely want to pare this down. I'm thinking I would like this to be, I guess I could put it in the Metropolis palette, but I don't like this part of the Metropolis palette very much, so I would ideally like to put it actually in one of the 15 pans, but if I really needed to, I guess this is kind of a nice teal. It's well loved. I've used those shadows many times. But I'm just going to kind of shove these to the side and kind of start aligning these in the way that makes sense to my brain. Okay, so starting just at the top of the picture, there's this really nice kind of like pastel kind of purple. I feel like the lighter one is closer, so I'm gonna keep that one. And then that's not to say that this one is completely out, it's just kind of, for now, we'll see how we do. The picture kind of transitions from that color at the top to, I don't want to say it's like almost a peach, but it kind of is like a peach. I feel like this is Intense from Natasha Denona Love. I feel like that's pretty close. It's not quite as pigmented, but as far as the spot where it's transitioning, I feel like it's close. Then it kind of goes into this really intensely saturated, kind of like a pinky red. I don't know that I quite have anything exactly like that, but I feel like this is probably maybe as close as it gets. I don't know. This is kind of nice too, though. I feel like this is too dark. And I feel like this also feels a lot close as far as like mattes go. This is the closest matte to any of those poppies in the picture. So I'm gonna go with that one for now. This is Heart from the Natasha Denona Love palette. Then kind of transitioning, there's this kind of dark grayish, purpley saturated cloud. And I'm kind of thinking maybe this one. This is Jacaranda from the Roxa palette. I feel like that's maybe not quite as close as I would like it to be, but it is pretty close to the color of the actual mountain silhouette, the far away one, so we'll just go with it for right now. Then there's kind of this really dark, but it's closer in the picture. I don't want to say it's a teal, but I feel like there's a little bit of a teal going on. I pulled this shade. This is Night Sky from the Xenon palette, and I feel like that is close, but then I also feel like Symbol from, this is Symbol from Metropolis is also close. I'm not sure if this will pick up on camera, but this Symbol from Metropolis has, it's this beautiful, it's kind of like a corduroy, I would call it, texture. You might have seen, I kind of had I had pulled and made, a palette of just all of the like corduroy, quote unquote, textured shadows that I could find that were all, they're not, like they're like matte, but they have like this certain texture to them. But that was in there, and this has a little bit more teal in it, I feel. There's also some really dark purple at play there. Both of these, this one's more of a shimmer and this one is more of like that corduroy matte. So I feel like I'm gonna keep both of those. They give a really nice contrast as well. I also kind of want to, I'll just keep going. How about that? We'll just keep going for right now. The next thing that I'm seeing here is that beautiful mist. It's kind of like this grayish lavender, and the pieces that I thought most resembled those were these two. So this is Flutter from Roxa, and then this is Snowbow from the Xenon palette. Snowbow from the Xenon palette is my reigning favorite shadow from the Natasha Denona mini, or the MIDI palettes, not the mini palettes, the MIDI palettes. If we're talking about the large format, I think it's called Dragon Bite from the Lila palette is really high on my list. And then, Lime Chrome from the Golden palette is just beautiful. But this is it's like a cool lavender, but then I feel like it's got a little bit of a shift to like a warmer dusty rose. It's just beautiful. In the actual Xenon palette, it's like the one, that always looks like kind of pinky toned. But I feel like both of these can play well here, is kind of where I'm at. So I'm gonna keep them both, and then if I need to pare down, we can. Next, we kind of get into the poppy fields, and this is kind of interesting because I feel like, I don't want to say there's frost on them, but I feel like it's kind of teetering close to frost. And with that, all of the, I guess, greens, pretty much all of them in this picture feel very cool toned. So I mainly picked greens that I also felt were extremely cool toned. Looking at these, I've got some really nice couple here, but I think I'm gonna go with this one because this one texturally looks kind of similar to that one. So this is Jubilee from Metropolis, and it's got like this really nice, just like emerald green kind of color. It's really pretty. And then in terms of the, almost like the highlight version of the stems, I guess, of this like field that's here in this picture, I think I'm trying to decide if I want to go with a shimmer or a matte. I feel like this is very matte heavy, but we do not have a green that's a matte, really. That's not dark, I should say. So maybe I think that one. This is Sage from Natasha Denona Retro Glam. Yeah, I think that that's necessary. And then we kind of get into the reds, and I just feel like this has to be in here. It's too, I feel, spot on for the colors of the poppies, but also is part of that sunset. So this is a shimmer. This is Brink from Natasha Denona Roxa. And I just feel like it's got that cool, it's like a magenta-ish red pink kind of color. I just feel like that's gorgeous, and it has to be in there. And then I think I'm also going to put in Duet from the Pastel Natasha Denona palette. So, is that too similar? I'll leave it for now, but we'll see. I do want to swatch Bolt from Roxa, because I did swatch this, but it was a while ago. Okay, so it's like it's a really nice color, actually. Okay, I think that needs to be in there. It's like the purple shimmer. And then I kind of want, again, I'm getting too many shades, but I kind of want this really just like rich, what is this even? It's Edgy from Natasha Denona My Dream. And this is one that I know you have to kind of build it up. It's a really interesting formula. It does tend to lean towards hard pan, but I feel like that doesn't affect the pigmentation or its ability to... It's kind of really nice, actually, because it's like a really low effort red, I feel. It's really easy for me anyways, because I am very pale, and I can very easily put on too much red, and then we've got a situation on our hands, so I appreciate that that is not that way. Let's see. I feel like this is too similar. I don't think... Oh, I say that and then I question myself. Wondering if it needs a black. I'm aware that this is too many shadows, I think, but for 15 pan, but this is just kind of the way my brain works, so excuse me. I don't think I need a black. I feel like it would add nice contrast, but these are all so dark that on me, it's gonna be fine. This is Bora from Natasha Denona Pastel. I feel like if I have this one, I don't need this one. This is Instinct from My Dream. I think this is just a little too close to the other one from My Dream. Deep Dive from the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. This has been through it. It's got some hard pan on the top because I've just used it to... I just need so little of it, I guess is what I'm getting at. Again, I'm very pale. I don't think I need that. This one, I kind of feel like I don't need that one. I think I'm good on greens. Unless, I don't know, it's hard to tell because there's kind of like, I feel like this almost has more teal in it, where this is more like the true green. Yeah, I feel like that drives better. Let's do that. This is Royal from Natasha Denona Metropolis. Cerise from Roxa. I feel like not necessary. It does look really pretty, but I feel... No, I feel like this red has to stay. It's like the main attraction, I feel, when it comes to the poppy part of the picture. I'm on the fence about this one. This is Concord from Natasha Denona Roxa. And actually, maybe I'll swatch these. So this one, again, this is Bolt. I feel like Bolt is a lot lighter, whereas the other one, Concord, is more like a warm toned, which is tough because I feel like they're both warm and cool purples in the picture. I think both of these need to be in here, is where I'm at. This I kind of picked out. This is Blind from Natasha Denona Love, and I kind of picked this out because I thought it looked a lot like the fog, but I think if I'm keeping the other one, it jives better. Snowbow jives better, and this is, I don't need this because it's close enough to the other one. This is kind of my other one. So this is Claret from Metropolis, and I feel like there are some spots where it's a warm red in the picture, so my gut is telling me to include this. But then I'm also getting like maybe this one instead. This is Pure Love. I feel like this is too close to the purple though, so I think that's where we're at. This one is Giving from Natasha Denona Love, and I feel like this has to be in there as well. We are nearing the end of my little pile. I've got just a few off here that I'm kind of still considering. This is similar, I don't think I need it. Same story, similar, I don't think I need it. This, I feel like I'm torn because this is a warmer green. Maybe neutral is a better term for it, but it's definitely not cool in person. There's a bit of a warm brown intermixed with this formulation, I think. It is Calathea? Calathea? I'm not sure how you say that. It's from the Yucca palette. Yucca? I'm bad at pronunciation. I feel like I can say no on that one. Okay, I feel pretty good about these, so now I'm going to arrange these in a way that makes sense to my brain, and that's kind of where we'll make our final cuts, but I am pretty happy with this so far. I think this is really pretty. If you know anything about me, I really like to arrange things in a way that's almost like, I don't want to say it's always dark to light, but it is often dark to light. And then I think this is influenced from Blend Bunny, but I love the satisfying ways in which she arranges like all of their palettes to be monochromatic. I just think it is absolutely so beautiful. Kind of what I'm thinking here is darkness is kind of down here, but then we've got kind of a lighter row, I suppose. And now we're in a pickle. Okay, I don't hate that. I'm not obsessed with it, but I don't hate it. I feel like this is Duet from Pastel, and I feel like it's got a slight purple to blue, like a light blue flip. It's not like a huge difference, but I feel like these two definitely, or this like little quadrant kind of jives more than this does with the picture. So we'll call that one. I'm conflicted here. I feel like it's a pretty purple dominant picture, and I also really want the green shimmer in there because I feel like you could do so many pretty things just combining this, like a dark matte, and this on the outer corner, and then any of these would look so pretty morphing into this. You could also do a monochromatic green look really easily, so I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't do something kind of like this. It throws off the monochromaticness, which I don't like, but And then here's kind of where we get into the weeds a little bit, because it's like, what do I do sort of a thing. I do feel like this is really pretty, but again, it's more that cool color. Can also do a whole lot with this color, but I feel like for the picture, this color, I feel like it's prominent but only as a shadow, if that makes sense. It's like one of those all shadows inherently have a little blue in them, and you know, that's kind of the issue. I think I'm happy with it. I think this is what I'm going with. I'm wondering maybe if I switch these around. Oh, yep. Yeah. I think this is so pretty. I'm just doing kind of some little last minute finagling here, but I think I'm happy. I think I really like this. So let's now decide. I think I want to put it in the Roxa palette. I think that's, I'm gonna take a look at it here. I just love the packaging on this. It's so pretty. Yeah, I think that's going to be beautiful. So now I've got an empty Roxa palette. My camera battery is about to die, so I'm gonna switch that out really quick. Okay, we're back. It's a slightly more zoomed in angle, but I think it'll be okay for the purposes of the rest of the video because we've kind of made the tough decisions. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the shade names, and then I'm gonna pop them into the Roxa palette and do some swatches. So first I've got for the top row, this is Sweet Pea from the Roxa palette. This is Intense from the Love palette. This is Sage from Retro Glam. This is Heart from Natasha Denona Love. And then this is Jacaranda from Roxa. So there's our top row. For middle row, we have Flutter from Roxa. I did swatch this one once when I first got it. It's super gorgeous. Might give Snowbow a run for its money, honestly. In my book anyways. This is Brink from Roxa. So lots of the Roxa palette. I think that's what just made me so happy about that palette being released is it gives us so much to work with for purples and pinks, and they're like my favorite colors. This is Mint Frost from the Pastel palette. Super pretty. This is Claret from Metropolis. This is like a classic kind of ruby. It does kind of have a really beautiful kind of sheen to it depending on the angle that you're looking at that one. And this is Bolt from the Roxa palette. Super pretty. And then rounding out kind of our last row here, we have Snowbow from Natasha Denona Xenon. I just think that one's so gorgeous. Ugh, it makes my heart go pitter-patter every time. This is Giving from the Love palette. This is Jubilee from Metropolis. Really rich, kind of like emeraldy teal almost, but not quite. This is Edgy from Natasha Denona My Dream. This is like a really rich, kind of dark cranberry. And then lastly, we have Royal from Natasha Denona Metropolis. Now we get to do the fun work of putting it back in the palette and then some swatches. And there she is. I think we did really well. I'm super stoked about this. I'm gonna slide her to the picture here as I do the swatches, and so I can pop up the reference picture that I used over here. But just kind of looking at these, I mean, I feel like we did great. I'm gonna speed through this swatch party now and show you at the end. Okay, so I've got the swatches here. I am obsessed. I feel like even though these are kind of three separate, there's kind of clearly like the pinkish, reddish, and then the purple, and then the green. Even though it's very different, I feel like it's very cohesive as a color story. Like you can get a lot of looks out of this, even though it's not like a crazy huge palette, it's kind of average size. I just love this. I think it's super pretty. All of the colors swatched really beautifully too. I really like I think it's, yeah, this one. It's kind of like a topper. It's so sparkly. It's hard to explain unless you see it in person, but it's like right there swatched. And it's hard to explain unless you see it in person, but it's this one right here. It's got kind of like this peachy base to it, but it's super sparkly in person. And I'm just, I mean, what can I say? I'm super happy. Okay, so I guess that concludes this video. I hope you found it helpful and hopefully it brought you a little bit of joy like it brought me. That being said, that's it for today. That's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!